Hello and welcome back for another review from Metal Rocker 86. I guess it's time for another Bob Seger review. So here's my review of Night Moves. I don't need to give Bob Seger's backstory again, but if you'd like to hear it, please go watch my review of Strangers in Town. On to the album. Night Moves is Bob Seger's 9th overall and first studio album with the Silver Bullet Band, and it was released on October 22nd of 1976. It ranked as high as 8th on the US Billboard 200 and 12th on Canada's top albums. It is a 3-time platinum in Canada and a 6-time platinum in the US. It consists of 9 songs and altogether is just under 37 minutes long. On guitar and vocals we have Bob Seger. From the Silver Bullet Band we have Drew Abbott on guitar and backing vocals. Robin Robbins on piano and organ, Alto Reed on saxophone and flute, Chris Campbell on bass and backing vocals, and finally, we have Charlie Allen on drums, tambourine, maracas, and backing vocals. Now on to the songs, all of which were written by Bob Seger except where stated otherwise. It starts with my favorite song on the album. It's quite up-tempo and it was also released as a single. It's called Rock and Roll Never Forgets. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the very catchy guitars in this one, but you can also hear the drums and saxophone in the background. Bob Seger didn't break out until he was in his early 30s, so now Sweet 16's turned 31. He had also been in many bands and had a solo career, but he didn't have the success he had until Night Moves, where he really broke out. He considers this a thank you song to the fans who stuck with him. This was an amazing song on the album and it really gets you pumped. Now the tempo slows down as we get to the album's title song, Night Moves, and it was also released as a single. Instrumentation. The main focus in this one is on the acoustic guitar and it's quite soothing, and there are some parts with piano too. According to Bob Seger, the song was inspired by a girl he once liked. She had a boyfriend off fighting in the military, and when he got back, they got married, and Bob Seger was heartbroken. This was another great song on the album. The tempo speeds up a little as we get to the Fire Down Below. Instrumentation. The intro consists of a guitar and a piano, and after a while it gives off a blues vibe as we get into the verse. The solo in this one is also really good. Although the song was not released as a single, it became very popular when it was on the radio. I should probably not describe the lyrics in this day and age, but it was another good song on the album. Now the tempo slows down again as we get to Sunburst. Instrumentation. The piano and guitar are the main focus in this one with some drums in the background, and they're quite soothing. At around the 2-minute and 10 mark, things get much harder and the guitars get you rocking for about 1 minute and 35 before things slow down again. I interpret the lyrics as being about a guy who's up at night and goes to sleep when the sun comes out. This was another good song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up a little again as we get to Sunspot Baby. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the guitars and they give off a country feel, but you can also hear the piano and drums in the background. I also really like the solo in this one. From my angle, the song describes a girl who's broken up with her guy and she leaves him with all their liabilities and she doesn't want him to find her. This was another good song on the album. This next one was also released as a single, and the tempo slows down. It's called Main Street. Instrumentation. It starts off with a guitar intro, which is quite recognizable. Then for the verse, the main focus is on the piano with some bass and drums in the background. But the guitars return for the chorus. And as for the solo, I really like this one too. The lyrics describe Seger's high school days when he finally awoke after being the quiet kid for his childhood. This was another great song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up a little as we get to Come to Papa, which was written by Earl Randall and Willie Mitchell. Instrumentation. The guitars again are the main focus in this one, but they give off a blues rock feel. You can also hear the bass and drums in the background, and the solo is also pretty cool. I interpret the lyrics as being about a guy who's selling drugs, and this was an okay song on the album, and the tempo slows down again as we get to Ship of Fools. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the soothing guitars in this one with some bass and piano here and there and some drums in the background. From my angle, the lyrics describe a guy who's a loner and has trouble fitting in wherever he goes. This was another good song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up and things get much harder as we get to the final song on the album, Mary Lou. Instrumentation. This one consists of guitars, drums, and piano, and they are quite catchy. And I really like the solo in this one too. I feel like the lyrics describe a woman who's going out with a guy, and she leaves him and steals all his stuff. This was a great song to end the album with. So what did I like about this album? I really enjoyed listening to this one. The songs were all very well written, in the right order, the instrumentation sounded great, and as did the vocals. There is nothing I would change about this album. To conclude this, Night Moves is a great piece of work and you should definitely give it a spin. Well, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, rock on!